Welcome back. I'm Dr. Stephanie, Dr. Holmes. I'm here just to talk a little bit all things autism, neurodiverse couples. And today's topic, I want to talk about what level of support do you need? And often that is a big factor of that is what is the financial situation that you're in. So maybe you do want to get involved in couples therapy, but one or both spouses are not willing to be involved. So I want to talk then about group coaching or group supports. But before I do that, I want to kind of lay the foundation and perhaps maybe go back and listen to the podcast that my husband and I did on. It's called Are You in Your Right Mind? And so this concept is coming from The Other Half of Church by Dr. Jim Wilder. We've had him on the show. We've also talked to him. We've talked about the book's Rare Leadership. We've talked about Escaping Enemy Mode. But I want to talk about the four main premises of his book, that for someone to grow, for someone to transform, for us to become more like Christ and to be more transformed, he found there are four main ingredients. One of that is joy or joy building. I'm, happy to be here. I'm happy to be in your presence. And we're joined together. Even if it's something that's difficult, we can still have joy being each other's presence because we feel validated in being with each other. The second thing is Hesed or Hesed. I think I said it wrong. Hesed. And that is, I'm glad to see you. You belong. We're part of the same group, and I'm glad that you're here. It's a belonging feature. The number three is group identity. Having something that we share. We are Christ followers. We are in this same situation as a neurodiverse marriage. Either we are all neurodivergent individuals gathered. We are all, neurotypicals. We are neurodiverse couples. And then number four is healthy correction. So healthy correction is part of transformation, but those other three ingredients are really important. A safe environment, people who validate you, people you don't have to feel like you've got to keep justifying and just retelling your story. Maybe you've had some really bad experiences with counselors, pastors, small groups, women's groups. You've shared a little bit of your story. It didn't go well. You were given Sunday school advice, pray more, submit more, have more sex, just go have more fun together. All this crazy stuff that people say when they're really not understanding deep relational pain, disruption, attachment, injury, and all of that stuff. So I would say maybe a place to start if you're not ready to jump into marriage work or marriage therapy for different reasons. Maybe you're in a separated space. Maybe you're in a, I don't know what we're going to do next step space. Maybe it's just too much. It's too painful. Maybe someone's in denial about the status of your relationship and being neurodiverse. So it could be many, many things that are happening here. So that's why I think group coaching is so important. And so you can find out about the groups that we're doing. If you go to www.christianneurodiversemarriage.com, there is a tab that says group coaching. So let me tell you a little bit about the benefits. First of all, I think transformation happens in groups. Again, joy, Hesed, group identity, and healthy correction. There's, of course, a place for safety and validation, but we can maybe hear a little more healthy correction and maybe what am I doing that needs to change, and that could be a contributing factor here. We're in a safe place where people understand the situation. There's a trained coach who understands your faith and understands this neurodiversity issue. That would be a safe group to be in, to be a part of. Now, there are many out there, and I'm not going to say groups you shouldn't join, but I want to tell you about some ones that I know for sure that I have heard great feedback from some of the coaches that have come through our mentoring and training through the International Association of Neurodiverse Christian Marriage. So at the moment, you might find some groups by Jeremy and Charity Rochford, which we've had them on the show. They're here on YouTube. We did a segment with them. They might have groups sometimes for parents. Maybe you're not only a neurodiverse couple, but you have children that are on the spectrum. So they might have meetups for couples. They might have meetups for parents. Sometimes Jeremy's got groups for men who are neurodivergent with neurodivergent children. Charity might have groups for wives and neurodiverse marriages who also have neurodivergent children. So that would be a great support system. Barbara Grant is always offering different groups for women. It might be boundaries-based, recovery-based, Cassandra syndrome-based, next steps, making decisions-based. They change from some semester to semester, so you'll want to check that out. Kathy Young and Iris Knapp They focus on women who are in a separated space, a not sure space, someone's filed space, divorced or divorced recovery from someone who's been in a neurodiverse relationship. And they are always offering groups each semester. So check that out. A new coach coming on board in process of training. She'll be on June 19th edition of our podcast, Dr. Mary Jones. And she helps women. She feels primarily called to women. And she works with women who feel like they're in stuck places. And certainly that can be part of a neurodiverse marriage experience. But she's also a woman of color and really wants to connect women of color who feel even further marginalized in this neurodiverse marriage situation. Not only is it I don't know hardly anyone in a neurodiverse situation, but I don't know of someone who is like me, a person of color, for those who are women of color. So then my husband and I are usually running a group as well. I'm usually running two. Dan will run some for men. Like coming up in the fall, we'll be doing escaping enemy mode. So sometimes we'll be focusing on, maybe you're newly diagnosed and you just kind of need to know what can change. We're still in this early identification stage. We just need to kind of know a little bit more about that. And Dan will usually run a group for men. I have a group for women. I might be doing a little bit more of a therapeutic group, overcoming hurts or traumas, grieving kinds of groups. And then sometimes we have a book that we're studying and Dan's running men through it. I'm running women through it. We do a lot more separate with men and women because not all people feel safe enough to do a group with their spouse, but maybe if he is doing a group and she is doing a group and we're learning the same information, that might feel safe for one or both parties. And then I always hope that I'm going to have a mentor that wants to do emotionally healthy relationships because I can't speak enough about how much I love that for building healthy communication. And that will be offered in the fall of 2023 through Jeremy and Charity Rochford. They will be running the Emotionally Healthy Relationships course. I always hope that one's a freebie. And so if you're watching this and you are a person of faith, you're not in crisis mode in your marriage, but you do want to learn better communication skills, that's a great course. By the time this airs, the new set of courses might have already started. So I just want to kind of put that out there that group coaching is a way to get help and support, specifically in the safe space for you as a neurodiverse couple or spouse who wants to get some help and support. And usually it's half the price. So usually group sessions can run from $25 to $65, depending on who's running the group and what their price is. And so you're going to get support. It's going to be a less price. And maybe you find community. Maybe you find someone in that group that you also want to get to know outside of group through email or a chat, or you feel a connection. Maybe they even live in your same state. Sometimes that happens, and that's amazing. So just want to put that out there that group coaching, group support can be very helpful, and that we can all, as individuals, no matter what our neurotype, when we're in a group and we are there and we are allowing joy, hesed, having a positive group identity, then that's where we can receive healthy correction. Healthy correction is where we grow. Feedback is where we grow. And I hope you'll consider group coaching. And if we don't have a group that is right for you, look into that in other organizations to have the support that you need, possibly in a group setting. It's cost effective, and hope that you will have a positive experience. Look forward to joining you next time, either through the podcast or through one of these short segments.